What's up everyone, and welcome to Jayconomics. My name is Jay and it's a pleasure to meet all of you. On this channel, we take a look at anything related to finance with a strong focus on investing. So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, then please consider subscribing and liking this video to help me on my quest to befriend the big, bad YouTube algorithm.
When you do these renewable resource-based low-carbon fuels, our raw material is actually carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That is the source of renewable carbon. We have to pack that carbon back into a hydrocarbon fuel, like jet fuel or gasoline. So how can you do that efficiently?
So we take corn and we then fractionate it so that we separate out some of the different components, part of those things being food. So we do produce a lot of protein. That protein stays in the food sector. And then the starch, the residual starch in that corn, we are then converting into a biofuel in the form of isobutanol.
We do it using a technology that we developed where we took a yeast that normally makes ethanol and we genetically engineered it so it just makes isobutanol. And then we use conventional engineering techniques to clean up that isobutanol and get it ready for its next step, either using it in the market as is or converting it to things like jet fuel and gasoline.
What's up everyone, and welcome back to Jayconomics. In this video, we're going to talk about a very hot stock that was a penny stock just a short month ago, and that was trading in the $1 range in November. This stock has gone parabolic as of late and has traded as high as the $14 range and is now sitting just under $13. This company is a green energy play, but does it deserve this much love in the market right now, and is it still a buy? Today, we go in depth and discuss gevostock. Before we get into it, if you want to grow your portfolio exponentially, be sure to check out our Smart Money Squad Patreon. There are various tiers for your goals and budget. You get my buy and sell alerts instantly, my weekly watch list and entry points every Sunday, as well as updates throughout the week whenever I see something interesting in the market, and of course, access to the private Discord. The link for that is in the description below. We also have a free Discord with over 3,000 investors, so be sure to join that. And we are also on Instagram as well, so hit us up at Jayconomics with a follow on IG. Those links are also in the description below. So make that thumbs up turn blue and subscribe if you're new. It really does help the channel grow. And now without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so first of all, one of the things that I preach on this channel all the time is that you gotta know what you own. And with Gevo, the problem that I'm seeing right now in the market and with people that I see commenting or chatting about Gevo is that they absolutely have no idea what Gevo actually does. All they know is that it's a green play and that it's a hot stock currently. This is not good, and this scares me, to be quite frank. The market is in a euphoria right now, and with anything green really, regardless of the underlying business and valuations, and that's all been thrown out the window. So if you're a momentum trader, well, this sector has been a godsend as of late. However, if you're a beginner investor or even a beginner trader, you're going to be burned. You're going to get burned, and likely pretty badly. It's just a matter of time. So because I care about you guys and because I don't want to see this, my day one subs, I'm watching out. I want you to remember that. I started Jayconomics with the purpose of helping people reach their goals and change their circumstances. So no, I didn't expect the channel to take off so quickly. I mean, hitting 35k subs just now after being around 5k subs just 2 months ago, it's just been insane. And thanks to you all, by the way, I wouldn't be here without you. But my point is, before we get into Gevo, is that I want you guys to succeed, and I want you to understand the investments that I make and why I make them at certain times and certain levels. So before breaking down Gevo and giving you my thoughts, let's find out what Gevo is all about first from the horse's mouth so you have a better idea.
My point of view is the greenhouse gas problem is so freaking big, we need any and all solutions. I mean, electricity from the grid is what, 70% fossil fuel generated? And people talk glibly about, we'll just go ahead and have all EV. How's that gonna happen? Let's go. Let's get on with it. We need more renewable energy. There's 1 billion people in the world that still don't even have access to electricity. So let's get going and get on that problem. We got to solve that because we got to get electricity widely off of the fossil fuels. Likewise, in hydrogen, it's like, how does it get generated? We got to have green hydrogen. Okay, we just embraced it and said, well, look, we're going to be kind of like our own little microgrid kind of a system, right? If you think broadly about renewable energy, we're going to have our wind. You know what? We can make excess wind or excess electricity to send to a grid. We can take biogas. We may have excess biogas at times, so there's all kinds of, it's a different business model. We're getting paid for the decarbonization and defossilization.
So yeah, Gevo is a renewable chemicals and advanced biofuels company. What they do, right, in simpler terms, is that they convert renewable raw materials into isobutanol and renewable hydrocarbons that they believe can be directly integrated on a drop-in basis into existing fuel and chemical products. So now that we kind of have a better understanding of what Gevo actually does, let's go into their financials first. So Gevo's balance sheet is actually pristine. It's a beautiful balance sheet. As of September 30th, the balance sheet of Gevo is extremely strong with $80 million of cash and barely any debt. Most of that cash came from an offering they did in August of 2020, and they expect to be completely debt-free using that cash. Now, due to their strong balance sheet and available cash, Gevo is in a very, very good spot here. They also did another offering in January, well, just last week actually. This one was a $350 million registered direct offering of common stock, so they're extremely well cashed up moving forward for growth in 2021. Now, if we take a look at their income statement here, we look at the revenue, Gevo actually reported a very poor Q3. Revenue for the 3 months ending September 30th, 2020 was $0.2 million compared with $6.1 million in the same period of 2019. Now, this would be a major red flag in most cases. However, not here in my opinion, and most of this is due to the global illness. As a result of the illness and in response to an unfavorable commodity environment, Gevo terminated its production of ethanol and distiller grains in March 2020, which resulted in lower sales for that period. Now, revenue is not expected from the sale of ethanol, isobutanol, and related products while the Luverne facility's operations are suspended. So, after reporting poor revenue, you'd expect the share price to dip or perhaps be stagnant. Well, not so fast. So why did Gevo skyrocket from $1 to now around $13 in a month? Well, to me, it's a combination of a few things. We have the obvious, which is the green wave being the biggest catalyst, of course, but people are looking at the value of what Gevo is bringing down the road and are looking past these struggles, showing lots of faith in the company to bounce back nicely. There is a massive problem here, and Gevo is addressing it. Now, another catalyst is that they released their contract pipeline. And what really stands out and what really gets the smart investors excited about Gevo is that they are really only just starting to scratch the surface on potential revenue. 343 million gallons per year in development pipeline. Massive demand, obviously. We also had the announcement of the Net Zero 1 project. Now, the concept of a net zero project is to convert renewable energy, so that could be like photosynthetic, wind, RNG, renewable natural gas, biogas, from a variety of sources into energy-dense liquid hydrocarbons that, when burned in traditional engines, have the potential to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions across the whole life cycle of the liquid fuel. So from the way the carbon is captured from the atmosphere, processed to make liquid fuel products, and including the end use as well, so burning as a fuel for, say, cars, planes, trucks, and ships. Now, in terms of long-term catalyst, we have the Net Zero 1 to be completed. We have the Net Zero 2 and 3, potentially more projects to be announced afterwards. Another tidbit of info to keep an eye on is the fact that Gevo is partnering with Block Size Capital. And this is kind of like a link between green energy and blockchain. So this is an interesting one to kind of keep an eye on. So am I bullish or am I bearish on Gevo moving forward? Well, I mean, I did buy 179 shares of Gevo at $8.33 just last week in the middle of the offering. Timed it pretty perfectly, actually. Got lucky there. But, you know, the reasons why I did that is A, because I like what the company does, and B, I had a feeling that investors would buy back this one quickly. Clearly, this was the correct assumption as Gevo shot back up as high as $14, I think $14.50 actually, and now sits just under $13. Patreon members did get in really quickly on this alert, and as you can see here, we're already up 50% in just about a week. So unless something drastically changes with the company, I do plan on holding my Gevo shares for 2021, potentially beyond, and I will be monitoring the company very closely. A very easy way to value this company is to look at the revenue potential based on the total gallons in development pipeline. So we see that 48 million out of the 343 million are currently in place. So if we take that into consideration, it would tell us that a minimum 7x in share price is possible and very plausible actually. 343 divided by 48, right? It's a 7x. So the only question now becomes whether they can execute, right? So we got to believe in the management team and what they're doing. And if so, then how long will it take for Gevo to get each of these net zero facilities up and running? Now, all that being said, all that being taken into consideration, my price target for 2021 is $20. But you know, that doesn't really mean that much because with the market running essentially on fumes and hype currently, it could also just as easily blow right by 20 and never look back. So we'll really have to kind of play this one as we go. We could also drop down, you know, to $10, $9 again in the short term at least, right? So, you know, you really got to believe in this company and what they're doing to be able to invest at these levels of you know, $12, $13. That being said, you know, take everything into consideration, do your own research, you know, take everything that I've presented to you today and look into it, right? Double check my work. You know, you don't want to just be believing some guy on YouTube. I mean, I know that we've had a pretty good track record on this channel, but I don't want you to invest just because I'm investing, right? I want you to make your own decisions. And the point of this channel is to teach you how to make those decisions. Is Gevo disruptive? Yes. Will Gevo move the world forward? Yes. Does Gevo have enough capital to reach their goals? Yes. Does Gevo have a strong leader? Yes. Do political and environmental factors favor them? Yes. Do market conditions favor them? Yes. These are questions that you always want to be asking yourself, right? This is, I mean, it seems simple, right? But if the answers to those questions are all yes, then, you know, it's very hard for your investment to fail long term. So just keep that in mind and keep that mindset. You know, when we're buying a stock, you're not buying the stock, you're buying the business. All right. So if you want to buy Gevo, buy the Gevo business. Do not buy the Gevo stock unless you're in it for like a quick trade or something, right? But if you're investing, do things properly, right? And if you do this, well, then share price fluctuations in the short term, well, they don't even matter as much and you won't panic and you won't be emotional. So in the end, you know, if you're looking at Gevo as a long play, I think it's very important that you do this homework. So that wraps it up for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and that it gave you a good insight into why Gevo has a lot going for it and why I personally am bullish on it. And guys, if this video brought you some value, then please hit that like button for me as it really does help the channel a lot. And comment your thoughts on this video. Did you like the deep dive on Gevo? And are you personally investing into the company? And if you want more content like this, then don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell to be notified when any new video comes out. And of course, check out the Patreon if you want access to all of the perks like our awesome Discord community and access to all of the stocks and plays that I make in a timely fashion and much, much more. And until next time, take care and invest smart.